Spencer, my ally, my friend. We speak on Israel, Palestine. We speak on his small business, the art scene. We speak on his life, mental health, and our experiences being in treatment together. That's how we met. We were seeking help and whatnot, and we had some very memorable moments, in some of the darkest times of our lives. We also talk about how there's alternative ways for politics to be run, such as less lawyers in politics and more other professions running for office and whatnot on this episode of Pollute Your Soul. And before you get into this, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get right into this episode. Welcome to the fucking podcast here. We got Spencer in the cut. Thank you.
What the fuck's going on, man?
Describe yourself to the audience. You're an artist. You own an artist store.
I'm an artist. I'm a commissioned artist. I own a retail business in West Orange, New Jersey. I'm a professional asshole. Eccentric. And got a lot of stories to tell, so that's why I'm here today, man.
Yeah, you do. And you got some killer fucking... I remember your leg tattoos. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, we could go through those. I got a bunch.
Yeah.
Should we start how we met?
We met in the loony bin.
Basically. Oh, yeah, retreat.
The funny farm.
What?
There's many different ways to say it. It was fun, though. It was a good time. We just, we were going through some tough times, but we persisted. Let's just say that.
And then you got transferred, and I got transferred to the same facility.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, so we got transferred like the same fucking facility like a week after. My exit of retreat's a little bit less dramatic than yours. What did you do to that kid who pulled his dick out on that girl you were hanging out with?
Yeah, fucking dude pulled the dick out on a girl, fucking Milan, who actually lives in my town, ironically.
Yeah.
So I grabbed him by the throat and started strangling him.
And then the cherry on top is shitting on the fountain, right? Didn't you do that?
Oh yeah, I shot in the fountain before I left. Fuck that place.
That was amazing.
And that got kicked out. That got kicked out. Blue Sky.
Yeah. They weren't They were always like looking. They were like they didn't like that you two were like. You know what I mean? They didn't like the retreat people. They didn't like that shit.
Dude, it's fucking... Dude, well, the whole thing... This is the whole thing. I fucking had a cease and desist against retreat afterwards. And I got records, and everybody, a lot of the techs, mostly it was the techs, basically didn't like that me and Milan, this other girl that was there, we were hanging out a lot, didn't do anything heinous, but they said, reports literally said, yeah, a black and white person are making out, spending too much time together. That's how they referred my reports as the worst thing I did. Like, you're in fucking Lancaster, fucking Amishville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, maybe that's the factors into it.
And fucking that's what people are offended by while we're in 500 junkies.
Yeah.
And schizophrenics.
Remember the dude he was the Thor dude? Were you there when the dude
Oh god, yeah. I was there. Were you there the night he flipped out?
Yeah. That was fucking crazy, yeah. Like I could tell
me and Mateo started going after him because they tried to keep us all inside.
Oh no, I wasn't there for all that, but
I was there. Downstairs. So this is the whole thing. Fucking Thor over there. Who knows what the fuck his real name was. One other fucking psycho bitch who was there was fucking being like, you don't need your meds, this and that. And like, he was, schizophrenic, and he went into a fucking episode. And one night he started kicking doors in and all this shit. And, techs aren't allowed to quote unquote touch people and this and that. And me and my roommate, Mateo, we were just fucking flipping out. and they tried to keep us back. I snuck out, took a wet towel, tried to grab him behind the neck and shit.
That's nuts.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. I mean, but the fact is, if anybody needs help, I respect getting help. It does work if you're ready and you work a program. That I will give to you, but
Yes.
you have to be willing to participate.
And
So
work
it's not
it,
for
make it work for
everybody.
you, you know.
Yeah, it's like, well, one of the things I always said since I was a kid, because I've had a fucked up childhood. I was born with epilepsy and Tourette's, fucking. But I always said, if everybody smoked a little bit of pot and did a little bit of therapy, the world would be a more peaceful place.
Yes. That's the truth. It's definitely a necessity. I'm glad society's kind of open up to it. Like 50 years ago, I mean, a lot of people like this shit talk. Like the world's going to a darker place. It just for every good thing, there's usually a bad thing, and I think that there has been a lot of good things in you and me's kind of generate. I mean, you're a generation above me, but you know what I mean. Compared to
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you have to accentuate the positive, man. I believe in, everybody should be happy. Uh, uh, we all have our own issues, but it is what it is. It's just like, yeah. I mean, I was fucking born in fucking. I was born in '82, so I mean, I'm 42. I'm fucking a lot older. But it's just like the times change, and you can change with the times, or you can't. But you have to also respect other people. That's the whole thing.
hmm
It's like, I mean, like I mean, like for me, it's just like you gay, straight, bi, whatever. We're all the same. I don't give a shit. Transgender, whatever. Be happy and just respect the other person. You know,
hmm
people teach you to hate or be nice, and it's your choice to make the path.
yeah. That hate shit, like I like it doesn't. It's taught. That's definitely the case for the hate thing. Like, um, if somebody grows up a certain way, it's just like it's usually taught to them by someone older than them, or like or someone they look up to, or like someone they falsely look up to, because like a lot of like quote unquote fatherly figures can influence people in a bad way. That's what kind of got me into a certain path, was like people older than me just basically like getting me tapped in with certain things, and it just fucked my life up. But yeah.
Well, I mean, like for instance, me, like I know I'm a lot older, and like fucking, there's a generational gap, and I don't have an issue, and I do my best to accommodate for other people. But let me give you a perfect for instance. Like when I was a kid, I was born C-section. My neck was wrapped around the umbilical cord twice. Later, I found out I had a stroke at birth, and I was born with epilepsy. Until then, I was marked retarded. That was a medical definition. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, if I use that word, it's like I'm getting come after.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
As I say, it's just like I understand, but people gotta take shit with a grain of salt. People are way too sensitive. Like they never heard sticks and stones might break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Yeah, one of the best fucking there's that joke where it's like you don't call a gay dude a faggot unless he's being a faggot or something like that, or something like that, or you don't call you never call a literal mentally retarded person retarded, but like there's just certain you call your friend who's did something stupid that or something like that. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. Is
Well,
like
but that's it. That's what I'm saying. If I call someone retarded, I say they're acting dumb. I'm not going to call an autistic person or someone with a disability retarded.
yeah, exactly. That's
But
just the
like
whole
here's a
big
perfect
thing.
example, bro. But how tight ass shit is today is like, for instance, I posted a joke in a fucking weed joke group on Facebook. I got suspended for a week. It was literally, when a midget smokes pot, does he get high or medium?
That's great. That's great.
I got kicked from the fucking group, which I don't give a shit about, and then I got suspended.
Yeah, it's like
It's a
come on.
joke. It's not directed to anybody. That's my point when you make comments and jokes.
I think you're supposed to use the word dwarf instead of midget.
or vertically challenged. I don't give a
Vertically
fuck.
yeah. That reminds me of that other shit you posted, the Stephen Hawking thing. He's making the midgets with the whiteboard.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. I mean, out of all the
Fuck.
people on the list,
Who gives a shit, man? I mean, it is what it is. Fucking sexual deviance. Everybody has their own kinks and shit. I mean,
yeah,
I don't agree upon fucking underage people or without consent, but absolutely, consent is the most important thing. Being a child molester or rapist is worse in my book than murdering,
mm-hmm.
because I was raped when I was a child, so I went through that trauma. But everybody has their own kinks and shit. I mean, I fucked a midget once.
That's amazing. Well, I don't know what to ask there, but I kind of want to ask like how was it?
Honestly, fucking, uh, this was like fucking what, maybe 2018. My girlfriend, who she was a dominatrix professional, she fucking we met this midget and she wanted to watch, so fucking she arranged it. And so yeah, it was all going well and shit until it started getting into it. And then like fucking when we started fucking, first off, I mean, I obviously had to do all the work, which I don't mind, but the real thing is that as I started going, it was like and I fucking got soft because I felt like I was listening to a dog chew on a squeak toy and I couldn't finish.
Yeah, that's the
So
weird thing. It's
I
like
couldn't
guys
even
have this
finish.
like
I
crazy.
started fucking laughing.
Yeah, the guys have this kind of crazy like expectation put upon them that you have to like stay like the entire time, like you know what I mean. And because girls or feminine people, whoever you could just sit there or bend over, and but like the
No,
guys do
I
do.
mean it's not that. My whole thing is when for me like I don't believe in like sex isn't love to me. Love making, those are two separate things. Fucking is fucking. It's an activity. And my main goal when I am with a woman is I always make sure she comes first and put her first and make sure she climaxes first. And the best way to have the best sex you can is actually communicate during sex, which people don't do.
Yeah, you gotta kind of the boundaries, of course,
Yeah, I mean,
and
like
the
I always
line.
felt if you can never please a woman if you put yourself first as a man.
Yeah, you're not like Patrick Bateman looking in the mirror while he's fucking her, like in American Psycho. He's like ah, like that's the nah. You know that's what not to do for real. I mean that's just selfish in any regard. That's just his general lesson on selfishness right there.
Yeah.
Shit. So I heard you're going back to college at Columbia.
Huh.
I, that
Dude,
was
I mean, look, dude. As I said, first off, when it comes to this fucking shit, these things are a lot of them are basically anti-Semitic. I mean, because now when you see it, and social media shows you a different view nowadays than anything else, so there are always two sides depending on how it's filmed. And as I said, everybody has their opinion. But when you're saying support Hamas, and they're doing the sig hail and everything, I mean, just fuck that shit. And the fact of the matter is Jews are the first people to get targeted.
mm-hmm.
And the whole thing is there's with all this shit, there's something bigger, behind this. But I just don't understand. There are, you talk about colonizers, but the Arab nation colonized how many fucking countries?
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
I don't know how many countries, but I know what you're getting at. There's like a kind of neutral like opinion that's the mature opinion, but a lot of people like they're just so quick to just like go this way and go that way, and you'll find fewly that's not a word. Very few times you'll find like somebody has a rational, balanced opinion. Like I just heard a senator speak at like a Q&A thing for this independent film, and she was kind of talking about like how the pain that Republican and the pain that a Democrat have when they're talking about like the certain issues. It's they all both have like good intentions and have good beliefs, but it's just they don't understand each other, and them not understanding each other or even trying to understand each other is what kind of blocks any real solution from being made. Is like the lack of willingness to even understand the other side, something like that.
Yeah, but when it comes to this shit, man, like, and I'll just say it, and this is my opinion, and like me or hate me, but I think I speak differently personally because first, I'm older, so I don't look at everything what I see in a TikTok first and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. Also, I have family that was Holocaust survivors, and I have a cousin that's being held hostage.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is just like, Jews and Zionists, the Zionism that Israel be a holy land. The fact of the matter is, and Jews deserve, Israel as a holy land, which shows history back before anything else. You know, that's really a very big part of it. Okay, and I believe if they wanted to destroy fucking Gaza, they would have been completely flattened and destroyed. But one of the reasons Israel came to place is because, America, because they knew what was going on in the Holocaust and they didn't do fucking shit. They didn't come in until Pearl Harbor bombed and that's when America got involved.
Yeah, that was recently. I was watching that Darkest Hour thing. It was really hard for Churchill to like get like before he kept on calling FDR and was like, "Yo, come on, like we're fucked here. What's going on, pal?" And then Pearl Harbor happens, and then it's like, "All right, bet, let's go." Instantly, and also there's that. Didn't Hitler offer to give the Jews to America or something like that? Is that a lot? Is that some like bullshit story or what was that? Do you know about that?
No, no, no. Hitler didn't do any of that. Hitler went to, I forgot who the fuck was in control at the time, but in the Middle East, Mustafa, and made an agreement who was running Iran that he'd be getting rid of all the Jews in Europe and fucking as long as they would get rid of all the Jews in there. And that's why so many Jews left Iran, all those places, heading further more towards Israel. And since, the Brits fucking had what was back then before it was even called Palestine and the Israeli area taken over, it was written and voted upon, that everybody agreed upon Israel having a nation except for obviously the Iranian people, because the history showed it all the way back from King David and all that shit to Pontius Pilate and all the other crap we could get into. And then, the Israelis decided to, or the people of Israel, before even Israel became what Israel was, decided to start building a government while other people in the surrounding areas of the Middle East were fighting them. And they offered them back then Gaza, West Bank, all that, and they said no. So back then they just started fighting and fighting. You know,
And it's continued. Have you seen the what's it called? The Kingdom of Heaven, quote unquote, propaganda. The there's a certain kind of lane. I don't know if you've ever witnessed. It's Christians in America posting clips from Kingdom of Heaven, wanting, kind of joking but not really joking, that they want the the Christian kingdom of Jerusalem to be founded again. Have you seen
well,
those clips?
I mean, I know about it. I mean, as I said, that's one of the things. As I say, being a Reformed Jew, not a practicing Jew, because I stopped believing in God many years ago. But I believe in the tradition aspect of it. To tell you the truth, is that really just the Goyim care more about Israel because that's the only place they'll survive the rapture than American Jews.
The what? What was the dude? The who believes that?
The Goyim, the Gentiles,
What's a Gentile?
which are non-Jewish people in Yiddish.
Oh, so they believe that if a rapture happens, they will survive it if they live in Israel.
Yeah.
Is that what their scripture says?
I don't know what the fuck it says.
Yeah, no, it's kind of. I mean, that's what I think about a lot of them. I mean, I kind of have a less harsh Christopher Hitchens view on those religions. Let's just say that. Um, it is kind of like an apocalyptic. I know this is not all Christians are bad people. Let's get that out of the way. A lot of
Look,
Christians are
I
great
don't
people.
think I don't base people on their religion. I base them on their
Yeah,
morals. So
yeah,
that I don't give a shit about any of that.
but it is kind of an apocalyptic death cult at the end of the day. It is kind of a weird kind of perspective of like this like rapture occurring when it's like, hey, can we focus on right now here? Like, how do you like? Let's focus. That's why I like the Buddhism shit. Is because it's kind of just like, let's be now, let's be present.
As I always say, dude, all religions are one big metaphor to help guide you through life
Yep.
and maybe give you some hope or explain the unexplainable that we can't figure out yet. That's how I look at it. Do I believe fucking Noah gathered two of every animal and brought them onto a boat? No. Do I believe Abraham talked to God and God said, hey, Abraham, I fucked up making the penis. Can you cut a little off the top? No. You know, do I believe fucking Moses came down and like how Mel Brooks did? It's like, oh, the Lord Jehovah sent me these 15, one break, 10 commandments. The 10 commandments are common knowledge, man. But yeah, I mean, I believe that, you know, a lot of Jewish people, just like how you see a lot of Asian people and Hindu people and Indian people being doctors nowadays coming to America for better educations, they want to do better for their future families. I just think that the Jews that get ultra rich, you know, whether it be the Harvey Weinsteins or whatever, or the Jeffrey Epsteins, you get selfish and think they could get away with everything. And money is the worst addiction to be addicted to because money gives you power.
I just
And you
watched
think
They
you're
Live,
invincible.
and the money says, "This is your God" on it, on the money, and I was like, boom. The money is, it can become someone's God.
Wu-Tang cash rules everything around me.
That's what, yeah.
I'm just saying, man, it's like that's it. Money's like one of the worst fucking addictions, you know? But you know, once you get rich, you could you need to go higher because I believe, you know, from someone I know personally, you know, they were at the top of their game and they lost everything. Their partner stole from them, and they lost everything. They wound up killing themselves because they were so terrified to go back to not being rich.
Man, yeah, it's like
And, you
it's a
know,
weird
it's
cycle.
just like all you could do is think about more money and staying on top, which makes you hate more, care less about people.
That's the truth.
It's you know, it's a shitty thing. I was always taught myself and try and tell people to be humble. You know, and that's why I decided the reason I do the business I do, what I do, is because I'd rather be humble and be able to afford my simple lifestyle than be rich.
Yeah, like you gotta look someone in the fucking eye. You know, like it's not. There's no. Everybody's shit stinks for real. That's my favorite kind of humble quote thing is it be, you know, acting like your shit don't stink. It's the best.
Well, what religion did you grow up under?
Um, so my grandma was an Italian Catholic, and I was and my grandpa was German. So we went, yeah, quite funny combination. So I did do a lot of Catholic shit. And then I think I got baptized. I went to an Episcopal school because it was
Yeah.
I wasn't Episcopal, but the cool thing about Episcopal schools is they did teach you about like every single religion growing up. So I would do, so like in chapel, we would do it would mainly be Christian centered, but every now and then we would have like a ceremony for like Diwali or like fucking
Yeah.
Jewish shit, like Hanukkah, and then or all that shit. So we would learn about all the different types of religions and Buddha and Hinduism and shit. But and then eventually when I got to middle school, I became atheist and shit. And then when I started my mental health journey, quote unquote, I'm kind of on a Buddhist path.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my mom is very like she has a general belief in a god, but she just like does yoga, plays tennis, and
Oh yeah, exactly. I
talks
mean
about like
that's
that
how
shit.
I am now. I'm spiritual.
Yeah, like people hate on that, but it's like it's a normal kind of way to go. It's like it's healthy. It's not like you're not like committing your whole fucking life to like doing like you just kind of have a general understanding of morals and principles, like you said, that can help, as you said, guide fucking life.
Exactly, but like as I said, the Ten Commandments are common sense. So it depends what type of family you grew up in. You want to hear like my theory, and you're gonna love this one.
Yeah,
So you know how supposedly Christ is supposed to come back?
yeah,
How they say? I think he already did. He came back as Hitler in God's revenge.
and the yeah, that's fucking funny. Yeah,
It
what?
would make sense.
But who won? But yeah, no, that's fucking nuts. Yeah, that's fucking nuts. Yeah, Hitler's kind of like, I don't know what to say. He was very like he had that kind of there's a lot of there's a kind of like a pick me attitude that people like that happen. I mean, like you can find it in a lot of people who do like assassinate. He's more similar to like a guy who did an assassination attempt on a politician, like a real like politician. Like he's more of like a pick me kind of dude. I would compare him to the dude that shot Martin Luther King Jr. And this will tell you a lot about him. Just this fact: he did plastic surgery on his face, moved to Mexico, and started shooting porn with hookers, but was really bad at it. So then he moved back to the United States and started becoming racist and shit. Like that's his life. Like it's like that's that attitude that gets people there for real. It's a very interesting kind of rabbit hole.
But the whole thing, man, is just like, Hitler worked out. It was a time and place equation. I mean, the guy was like, what he did was awful and unforgivable. If you want to look at the nicest way possible, he was a tortured artist, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
the
the
nicest
Tortured
way
Poets
possible.
Department by Taylor Swift. New
But the
album.
whole thing is, he was able to take over and manipulate a vulnerable country at the time being.
That's what he
And,
did.
the
He manipulated that country. He took advantage of like a economically, you know, challenged
Well, I
people.
mean, look, dude, the word genocide came up after fucking the Holocaust. 6 million fucking people.
I mean, it's like that. That's the media thing. Everybody talks about the media then. Like I mean, maybe now, as if it's like a big deal now. But it's like if you really think about it, and I'm not trying to make a statement against like conspiracy theories or anything. I'm very kind of what you call pro conspiracy theories. I don't like to use that word though. I like the word alternative history. Um, but it really was just like a bunch of news stories and books that caused that. You got the Elders of Zion. You got like there's another book that Himmler was a big fan of about the Aryans. Himmler was maniac, but it's just a lot of books and speculation and superstition that did cause this, and it was the Thule Society. Yeah, like it was.
What caused it was really, in a nutshell, was that, you know, a fragile man like Hitler fucking wanted control, and he saw a country he could manipulate,
Using
and it worked.
using various speculations, superstitions, and fucking economic,
Propaganda,
things,
propaganda.
propaganda, yeah, and yeah, like, there's like a bunch of fucking books and shit, and they have their own newspaper. It's like very, it's a whole, yeah, the Aryan race theory comes from the word Thule. There's all these fucking books and shit that people were obsessed with, and the fucking magic.
But what it comes down to is Jews were the easiest targets.
Yeah,
So that's what we went after. Same thing. What fucking whatever it was. I don't remember. It was Stalin or Lenin with the pogroms. Same exact thing. And it's what happened. Fucking in Israel was fucking horrible, and Iran, fucking, who's a funnel for all the terrorist organizations. They hopped on board with TikTok, feeding propaganda. They fucking been donating colleges millions of dollars since 9/11, and started their own thing. The Jews are always the first target in any situation.
I'd like to imagine there's a world where everybody's just in a meadow with dandelions and smiling and
Yeah,
laughing.
but
That's
absolutely, but that would never happen. But what I'm saying is, how how you say you could be. I understand you're anti-Israel and what Israel's doing because I don't agree how heinous they're going about this shit. But people aren't understanding the fact that Hamas literally says they just want to kill Jews and they will keep killing Jews. And if they gave back the hostages, this shit would be done. But look what's going on right now, okay? These people are supporting Hamas instead of protesting Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel, and everything. They're supporting Hamas, not Palestine. Free Palestine. Free them from Hamas. Let them be their own independent country.
that's a good quote. That's what I've been trying to free
You
them
know,
from Hamas, because Hamas is like, I mean, it's like the whole the gay, a lot of I would say a lot of LGBTQ people are pro Hamas, but they don't kind of think about how much like Hamas would like put your head on a stick if they saw you kissing the same sex. That's like a thing to consider as well.
all LGBT community, why don't they go over there and see what happens? I'll kill them. I mean,
Yeah, anywhere over there really. It's like you know people just kind of, they see something, they want to support it. I mean, it's like even with the Black Lives Matter thing. Obviously it's horrible that there's racial injustice and cops are being brutal to people, but there's all this money from these fucking the Black Lives Matter people wanting the mansions and shit like that. Like
yeah, but
these are just
at least when the whole Black Lives Matter or with all the shit that happened when that was going on here, at least it was within the country. So it made more sense for people to protest against than protest against the police.
that made more, yeah, it made way more sense than what's going on now. People are just, they don't really kind of have a grasp of anything of what's going on, and there's also just so much like different fucking perspectives that you can find that it's like hard to know what's right and what's wrong. Like who blew up this thing, who blew up that thing. That I'm with the America First thing for real, and then
Look, all I'm saying is I'd be fine with the protest if Jewish students weren't getting harassed.
Do you think if it's anti-Zionist, is it anti-Semitism? Because that's like that's an opinion. I don't really believe. I don't think it's anti-Semitic to not believe, to be anti-Zionist. That's my opinion.
Zionism is not, look, Zionism is, I don't like the word Zionism. I'm not saying I'm a Zionist, but I believe, as I said, and we've talked about this, Israel and the Jews have a history of there before anybody else, and they deserve one piece of land
Yeah.
that shows history. But That's the whole thing. They're not separating anti-Zionism from anti-Semitism in these things. Like, for instance, Netanyahu's an extreme fucking Zionist. He needs to be put in jail. He needs to be taken down. That's who's
Mm-hmm.
causing this.
He's really
You know,
fucking blowing it for like a lot of people.
same thing as fucking Putin. Like, they're both warmongers, okay? But like, this is my whole thing. Everybody's neglecting. All the billions of dollars of aid over the years went to build these fucking tunnels. Don't tell me Palestinian people didn't know these tunnels were being built. It's like when I was living in the city and they were rebuilding, extending the Second Avenue subway. Everybody heard it. Everybody knew it. They knew where the shit was going.
Yeah. Like, what's your opinion on aid going to Israel? Do you think it's a good use of our tax dollar? I don't. I think it's the stupidest shit I
I
ever seen.
mean, I think the reason aid goes to Israel is that, as I said, going back to what we said, I think it was Eisenhower in office after after everybody was freed from the Holocaust, that we have so many old school politicians who are Christian, Catholic, whatever, feel they have to make it up to Israel for not being there when Hitler started the Holocaust and freeing the Jews earlier. This is the payback that they feel obligated to do. I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah, it's because a lot of politicians are like old and
It's guilt
around
money. It's
where
guilt money.
when that happened. Yeah,
But
like
but it shows you, like, when Iran fucking bombed Israel, dude. They need that missile defense system. They need the Iron Dome.
yeah,
They're not randomly shooting people with it. And if you talk to Iranians, because I have a lot of Iranian friends, they fucking love Israel. Iranians hate their fucking country because Arabs run their country, not Iranians.
yeah.
And
But
Arabs
this
hate
that's the
Israel.
problem here too. We find in each, you know, group is it's the people that run in the show do not at all represent what their people want.
Well, the whole thing is that's why it really comes down to, Americans, especially you guys have to vote. You know, you guys have to stand up and make changes.
Yeah.
I've always said, we need term limits, but my thing is, you know, I've always said that we need politicians that aren't just lawyers. We need politicians that are doctors, economists, engineers, environmentalists. But really, I want someone who's president who's my age, so they could
Yeah.
think like I'm thinking. And until you guys stop saying fuck Biden, fuck Trump, whatever, you have to choose the lesser of two evils and vote. Unfortunately,
RFKG.
no. I mean, I'm totally cool with RFK, even with that
I'm gonna vote for
anti-Semitic
him
shit.
too. Yeah.
But as I said, I wish we got rid of the two-party system and just,
Yeah,
we,
if it were my way.
I wish we did a round robin like the NBA playoffs.
What do they do in the playoffs? What do you mean?
East Coast versus West Coast, top 8 teams, four
Yeah.
versus four, elimination.
Yeah.
Take the top four candidates on the fucking West Coast. Take the top four on the East Coast. Two Democrats, two fucking Republicans, or two of two on each of different opinions, and let them fucking debate their way into it.
Yeah, the debate should definitely include
But
what people
if you
or
need to
the
be
libertarians. Like libertarians aren't that bad.
if you need to be 35 to run for president, then you shouldn't be over 65 to run for president.
Yeah, you should stop it at around like fucking. I would go 70. I think that there's still a lot of good like young people that are. But yeah, I would. But yeah, like around there's. Yeah, and the lawyer thing you said was spot on because lawyers kind of have. That's one fucking. That's one mindset that we're putting in there when, if you have like the council, quote unquote, that should be filled with many different life perspectives, and if it's all just fucking lawyers, like it's all just people are just gonna think the same shit, and like, do you really want a hive mind in
Well,
society?
also, if it's all lawyers, lawyers are more likely to take a fucking buy off from fucking, lobbyists.
Yeah, lawyers are,
Because
very scummy,
because lawyers aren't economists or pharmacists or psychiatrists that know about the fucking pharmaceutical companies that would open up a paper and read about how great a drug that helps epilepsy is.
Yeah.
If they knew about that shit, they would knew how bad Oxy was years ago. You know.
Oh my god, yeah, that fucking the Sackler family, man. Woo.
See, now those are a bunch of Jew bastards.
Oh, they're Jewish.
Huh?
Damn. Wow. We need Jesus, but I'm playing. Um, yeah, dude, that's fucking nuts, yo. The Sacklers, man. I wish I could just like get a time machine and just like do it, just kill their fucking what like in Russia with the family thing where they killed the whole family. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm trying to do
yeah.
that with them, bro. Just fucking.
It's just like kind of they're finally they're rescheduling marijuana to level 3.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Just deschedule it. So now you're going to do a level 3 where pharmaceutical companies can make an $800 pill and sell it to me for $20 with a copay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's fucking. It comes from the ground. That's my friend who owns a record store's opinion is if it comes from the ground, it's probably okay. That's the general kind of. I like that
It's
opinion.
like I'll never forget once. Like when I was a kid, do you know the store Spencer Gifts?
Yeah.
We used to always rob the shit out of that store because nobody cared when we were kids at the mall. And my goal was to steal every single keychain and make an ultimate keychain collection. And the favorite keychain I ever stole was "Man made beer, God made pot. Who do you trust?"
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, beer
But it's just
is
like it's
yeah,
just like getting sober, dude. How like you have the 12 steps and shit, and you have to stay sober. It's like, look, some people have to stay sober, never drink or do drugs again. Other people can control it. Me, I believe if you want to smoke weed, if you want to drink, do blow, whatever, as long as it doesn't affect your lifestyle and the people you love around you, enjoy it.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cases of,
You
and
know,
I don't
and
like to
it's
use the
but
word
as I said,
functioning,
it's
but
like
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 just
like
healthy.
AA and A. It's like to a certain extent, it's another cult. You must be sober. You must be.
Yeah. I personally have made the choice not to do any of that, but when I'm at like fucking like if I'm at a punk show in a college town, it's like I don't give a fuck. Everybody's doing it. I'm not gonna do it. Have your fucking fun, okay? That's my like. I don't know. It was hard in the beginning. I had to tell people like I'm a little uncomfortable right now. Like I gotta head out. But no,
Well,
me
also
meeting
the
my
whole thing
best
is
friends,
that's when you find out who your real friends are.
yeah, too, cause some people like they just yeah, like I had a thing like it was just uncomfortable. Somebody wanted to like have sex and they were like really shit faced, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
fuck off. First off, I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of you, and also it's unattractive. You know, have your fun, but let's just do this another time when we both have a clear head. But yeah, everybody has the right to have their fucking fun. Most people are able to handle it. Some people aren't. That's where you have our helpful friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like for instance, me, like I smoke pot. I've always been a pothead, and it helped with my epilepsy. I can't have more than 2 drinks, otherwise I'll have a seizure. I don't do uppers anymore because you can't get your dick up if you do too much, and that's worthless.
yeah,
I like my hallucinogenics, really, occasionally in microdoses nowadays, and the occasional ketamine.
yeah. Ketamine's legal, right, or something? There's like
For
clinics for it.
depression,
Yeah,
for depression and infused treatments.
yeah. I mean, it's like the more. I mean, we're talking about like shit coming from the earth, or that's where like the farther you get away from what was here before this industrial age happened. That's where it gets worse. It's where you get like trank. Trank is fucking nuts. You know, I've been researching a lot about Kensington and the trank being sold there as well as Baltimore.
What the
Um,
fuck is Trank?
you don't know what trank is? It's horse
Fucking
tranquilizer.
43. Oh, horse
Horse
tranquilizers.
tranquilizer. It's like stronger than fentanyl, and it gets into your like skin and shit, and causes there to be open wounds because it's not meant for a human's body. So it infects your body so much that there's fucking open wounds all over your body and shit. And there's like no way. The only way to really fucking get rid of it is amputation or just like cutting your
Yeah.
like. It's fucked. It's all
See,
fucking nuts.
I was fortunate enough when I think I was 16. I went to a party and fucking at high school, and I thought I was doing blow, and I did heroin, and I got so sick I never touched it again.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I bet it's. Yeah.
But I never just like. And by the time I was fucking out of high school and shit, like the big thing in high school was e pills, like those OG e pills, like the Pikachu's and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like heroin wasn't really a big thing. You know, fentanyl didn't fucking exist, and you know, meth wasn't a big thing in the area. But now I see kids like fucking everybody's like, whatever happened to starting stealing a cigarette and a beer? Fucking everybody's jumping to heroin or fentanyl. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I have an older friend. He's like, you can't even do a line. You can't even get a bump of coke anymore without fearing for having to fucking be laced with fentanyl or something. And it's like, and then that is true though. Like even though cigarettes are bad, it is kind of there's that youthful feeling of, oh, my friend's stepmom has cigarettes lying around. You know what I mean? Woo! Let's get that. That's fun, and you try it, and then you start to feel like shit, and then you kind of take a break from it, and then maybe a couple years later you start vaping. That's okay. You know, but there's the people just I mean, obviously it depends what area, but that pill thing, it's like the Molly thing too. Molly's not that bad, but it's yeah, it's become a bit more extreme, and the pharmaceutical industry has not helped that.
No, not at all. I'll never forget once, man. Like fucking when my mom died, like she had like a bunch of fentanyl patches left over, and I wound up taking one just to see how much pain she was really in because when she was dying, it's like this is to help you die easier. They said that's when they gave it to her, and I got so sick. And when I heard people were doing it at retreat in fucking whatever blue sky, I'm like, how could you do that shit? That was awful. I was miserable on it.
Yeah, I've had a hydrocodone. That shit's ass. Like it makes you. It's
Well,
so. It's incomprehensible. Like I don't even know where they
well,
don't
pain
describe
pills
it.
make you forget about the pain. They don't take it away. They make you forget, and also they make you fucking constipated, which sucks.
Yeah, I love a good
But
shit.
yeah, of course, man. It's good dropping some acid and shit, and the pressure makes you see so many colors.
That's one thing. I just love shitting sometimes. I just
Oh, who
really like
doesn't?
take a deep breath. I meditate a lot of times. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I meditate while I'm shitting. It helps me shit better. I don't care. I'm not afraid to admit it. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to read some Hellboy. I love you. Comic books on the shitter. Yeah. You a comic dude or what's up? What's you?
I used to, man. Back in the day, I used to.
What would
I
you
don't.
read?
I do read now. I don't fucking read much. I'm busy working. I'm just. If I'm doing anything, I'm painting. or drawing. Uh, Sometimes playing video games, but I haven't found anything good to play lately. But I've been shooting a shitload of pool. That's what I've been doing.
Mm.
A lot of pool.
That must be fun. I've been to a couple of spots like that around me. You have this one place where it's like metal bands and pool and shit. It's like it's so dope as fuck. It's called like Halftime or some shit. You grew up in Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
Is what was that like?
It was fucking awesome. I mean, I was born in '82. I mean, I was the only white boy in a black Latino neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got along. There were no issues. And I think, what was I, maybe 14, 13 when I moved out to Jersey, finished up school, when I was not the only white guy anymore. I was never a fan of fucking suburbia.
Not a fan
I
of
was always,
Jersey.
I was always more of an urban guy, faster moving pace.
Mm.
And when I was a dude, that was my first job was I shot pool. I was a hustler for money. That's what I did. So that's what will always be one of my fucking passions.
How does that work? Like, do you just like is it like you just bet on it or like what? Like, what? How does that work?
Well, you gotta know how to hustle people. You could bet on the game. You could, usually play nine ball.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and you gotta make sure you know how to play. I mean, one time, fucking, I was playing, I was racking in money. We kept playing. And then as I'm leaving, they chased me out and I had to run away.
Yeah, yeah. You got that. You
Oh,
won. Damn, bro.
I
Life
mean,
is fun.
I have some fucking ridiculous stories. Like when I was living in Europe, man. When
What
I
was
met
in
the
Europe?
first, I moved out to Europe for a couple of years after high school. I was so miserable and fucking depressed. We go learn the arts. I met first real like girlfriend, love of my life there. She helped me recover from all my childhood trauma of being sexually assaulted and all that, and accepted me for who I was. You know, and we went to a fucking sex club in Berlin.
Ooh,
It was like some eyes wide shut shit. You had to get tested first, all that shit.
that's
And
beautiful.
oh yeah, and then so we go our own ways and everything. And I'm hooking up with someone, and next thing you know, I'm fucking handcuffed to the bed frame. I'm like, oh, this is getting nice. This is fun, kinky. And all of a sudden, she drops her pants, drops a deuce on me.
She shat on you. Damn.
Thank God it was solid.
Ah, yeah. It would be liquidy. So what'd you do?
Shit happens.
Did you just like shit happen? Yeah.
Yeah, shit happens.
So what did you do?
While I was fucking handcuffed, I didn't do shit. Fucking, she sat on me. Then she fucking just rode me. And then I came in her ass. And then she made me pee in her mouth.
That's not that bad, okay? But the shitting part is like I wouldn't mind pissing in someone's mouth or.
I mean, as I said, I'm happy it was solid.
Yeah. Did you like? Were you like? And then got back to the sex. Did you just like get rid of it? Or like, all right, and wash your hand and go back. That's
No, I didn't, dude. I was handcuffed.
This is
Dude,
sounding
she
like
started
a
by
little fucking
she
fucked
started
up.
dominating, like biting, scratching. I'm like, this is kinky, and then it went from that to shit.
Yeah, a little biting isn't like that bad. It's just like and then it's like, and then you're getting shit on. Like, whoa, that's the deleted scenes from Eyes Wide Shut. Nobody's been able to see. It's Nicole Kidman shitting on Tom Cruise. That's the missing
Well,
20 minutes
that's
of
why I said,
footage.
like, I've always, my friends told me to write a screenplay with all the crazy shit that's happened to me, and that's how it would open up, called the story of Spencer. Shit happens,
Yes,
but
we'll be
also
in
like that was
contact about that. I'm a film major.
Erica was the first, love of my life, and I was over in Europe. We were together for a while. She got pregnant, and then she died during childbirth, and the baby was stillborn. And that's what made me come back. So that was some fucked up shit.
Fuck.
It was a good time in my fucking life, man.
Yeah. Where it was? This was in Paris. Where was this? Berlin.
I spent 3.5 years in Europe between Amsterdam, Belgium, Lyon, Paris, uh, Vienna. I met her in Amsterdam. I started like living with her and shit. All along this time, I was also learning how to do different types of art, like sculpting and shit through other artists and making connections. She was from Italy, so I started meeting her family and traveled there. It was a good time in my life. It was a fun time.
Nice. That's beautiful, man. And I hope one day we could see a screenplay or we just do fucking a series of podcasts about it or something. Start from day one or something. Now I can tell though in the future we will have you definitely be a recurring guest on this show. But thank you for your time, man. I can tell the audience is gonna love this. We're gonna definitely have you be a recurring guest because it was awesome catching up with you. Do you have any announcements for the audience before we wrap this up?
All I gotta say is, great catching up with you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Life's a bitch, but take it as it comes. And always remember, you can prick a finger, but you can't finger a prick.
That's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful
Yeah,
way to
man.
end off, bro. You can prick a finger, but you can't finger a prick. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and peace out.